Hello there, people of YouTube land. Once again, it is I, the Zombie Messiah, and this time I've got a bit more of an interesting video for you guys. Now, something that I'm pretty sure some of you might have guessed from a previous video, but most of you might not know, is that I am a fan of Superman. And with the success of the Arkham series, and Rocksteady saying that Arkham Knight was going to be their last Batman game, well, until they announced Arkham VR, I was one of the few people that was hoping that Rocksteady's next game would be a Superman game, because I'm pretty sure that if there is one company that could do a good Superman game, it would be Rocksteady. But for this video, I want to talk about one of the problems that I believe plagues Superman games, and what storyline in whoever is tasked with making the next Superman game could possibly use to make a good one. Now, the problem with Superman is, and what I've heard on throughout the rest of YouTube, is that Superman is considered to be an overpowered character, with one of the key points to back it up being that he's invulnerable. Now, technically this isn't the case, because while there is the known weakness of kryptonite, Superman can actually be beaten if he's fighting an opponent that is either as strong as him or stronger than him. This is how our villains such as Doomsday and General Zod have been able to easily go toe to toe with Superman, because Doomsday is stronger than Superman. In fact, he's the only. In fact, he's pretty much. In fact, the most famous thing about Doomsday is that he is the villain that killed Superman. And General Zod can easily match up to Superman because he is from the same race. He's Kryptonian. And, and with that also comes all the power sets that Superman has gained by being exposed to Earth's yellow sun. Now, what I believe would make a good storyline to follow for a game? Easy. The storyline that is known as New Krypton. Now, for those of you who don't know what New Krypton is, it was a storyline crossover. Actually, it was a crossover event for the Superman-focused comics, where after the events of another story arc called Brainiac, the residents of the bottled city of Kandor have been freed, and Kandor itself has been reverted to normal. For those who don't know what the bottled city of Kandor is, it is the last city of Krypton that had been kept bottled by the villain Brainiac. And so at the beginning of the New Krypton storyline, in Kandor was freed from its bottled state, and some of the Kryptonians actually tried to integrate themselves with the humans, like Superman had done. Well, like Superman and Supergirl had done. Two of these Kryptonians actually being Supergirl's parents, Zor-El and Allura El. However, after an event with Doomsday, the Kryptonians started to crack down on Superman's villains, only turning hostile against the humans when they wouldn't hand over Parasite. Now, this hostility angered Superman all the way to, and so that I'm not waffling on a bit, it eventually led to some of the Kryptonians creating a new planet for themselves called New Krypton, with Kandor being its only city on its North Pole. Now, Superman wasn't allowed to go with the other Kryptonians to New Krypton. However, Supergirl resides there with her mother, and 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 also Supergirl's mother had freed General Zod from the Phantom Zone. Now, what I'm suggesting could be done for a Superman game that is based on the New Krypton storyline is that, since one of the things that people like about superhero games is taking control of their favorite superheroes and beating up and beating up up and beating up thugs, essentially. Now one of the problems with Superman games is this hasn't exactly been the case due to Superman's strength. With Kryptonian onion and thug with Kryptonian enemies, however, it's essentially the equivalent of Superman being it's essentially like street thugs for Superman's level. So if you made a game focusing on the New Krypton story arc, or based on it, then it would allow for a good reason for there to be Kryptonian and enemies that Superman can fight. What even and for the bosses, Superman has some of the most powerful enemies in the DC universe. Some examples being Doomsday, General Zod, Parasite, Darkseid, Mongol. I'm pretty sure that there are a lot of choices there that a developer could pick from for boss fights when it comes to a Superman game. And it nullifies one of the biggest problems that people have when it comes to the idea of a Superman game. That being that Superman is considered invulnerable. Since Kryptonians are on the same level strength-wise as Superman, it would actually balance everything out and actually allow for a Superman experience, but one where he can actually be beatable without the developers having to come up with some convoluted reason as to why Superman can be taken out by the average street thug. Now, you guys might not agree with me, and you'll probably comment going, "Oh, they should never make a Superman game again because he's just not right for video games." If they make that is true, but only because game developers so far have been looking at Superman on the level of other superheroes in games such as Batman. However, with the new Krypton with the new Krypton story, we might actually get a decent Superman game. But anyway, leave your comments on what you think of an idea of a new Krypton-based Superman game in the comments below, as well as liking, subscribing, and sharing this video with your friends. This has been the Zombie Messiah, signing